For my current events project, I decided to use the article Lack of Funds Pushes Ontario Schools to Send Special Education Students Home. This is by the Globe and Mail. The article starts off by explaining how half of Ontario school principals have asked parents to keep their children at home because they could not accommodate their special education needs. About 1,300 school leaders from across Ontario come together to adapt a new funding model that will alleviate some of the financial pressures of special education. 49% of elementary principals and 41% of high school principals said they have recommended to parents that children having special education needs not attend a full day of school because of safety concerns or because of necessary supports are not available for the entire time a student is in the building. Now, this is forcing parents to find alternative arrangements. Parent Irene Casey explains she took her daughter out of school altogether and now is opting for private tutoring. Even though the province special education grant has grown from 1.9 billion in 2002 to 2.72 billion today, the budget is still stretched. Lauren Ramy, a spokeswoman for Education Minister Liz Sandals, said the province's new funding model for high-need students should help match resources with demand. The report says the Ontario elementary schools have an average of one special education teacher for every 37 students with special needs, and one for every 74 students in high school. Louis Sorisco, Peel's superintendent of special education, said that under the old formula, her district had to take as much as $14 million from other budgets to help with special education. About 14% of Peel students are designed to have special education needs. She was also surprised to hear that principals were sending kids home because they cannot meet their needs. Sorisco says, and I quote, "It is not the guidance that we give." She said, "We are profoundly dedicated to support kids with needs. We can't say we're not going to give you the support and send them home. That would be contrary to what we think is our duty." How does this article relate to sociology of education? In tutorial, we talked about students with special needs, talking about when it first started in the 1960s with the traditional special education, where students had separate classrooms or even schools with specialized teachers. And then towards the end of the 70s, it turned into an inclusive education, which is what we have today, with integrating special needs students into regular classrooms, but with special education support. It saddens me to read this article because it seems like we're taking 2 steps back with special needs education. Everyone has the right to an education. Children of all kinds need to be in school with other children so they can learn to adapt. While I was reading the article, a few terms stood out from class. Secondary socialization, social learning, and other social institutions like school, where characteristics of school, teachers, and peer groups all influence the socialization of children. Also, dimension of socialization, behavioral conformity, self-regulation of the body that a student must control in order to fit into a school environment. Moral conformity, process of a student internalizing and understanding what is right and wrong. Cultural conformity, learning about accepting perspectives and styles of expression. And last but not least, school climate, the sense of belonging in a school community. All these are important for not just school, but for daily life. And the only way a person can learn this is if they're in the environment every day. How does this relate to my own life? I work for a before and after school program called PLASP. Children from preschool to grade 7 can come right after school where they can eat, play, and do their homework while waiting for the parents. Working with special needs myself has shown me that they need separate teachers to help them succeed emotionally, physically, and mentally. For example, I worked with an autistic kid where one day he came to PLASP but wasn't at school because the principal told him to go home early, told his parents to go home early because he wasn't behaving and he did not have the support that they needed. And at the same time, because I was there after school to help him, just him, he started to grow emotionally, physically, and mentally. It goes to show how much one person can change another person's life just by helping them. This article was published April 28, 2014. The reason I picked this article, though, is because it's still an issue today. Schools and after-school programs still don't have enough funds to get support staff for special needs children. There needs to be a change. Thank you.